Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of Star Wars Saturdays, which is an ongoing anthology series that I play with the Open Hearth gaming community. And what we do is every month I'll choose a different RPG system and reskin it or shave it slightly and offer it up to the Open Hearth gaming community folks. And via our RSVP system, folks will sign up and then we gather together and play. Now, I'd say every month, but this one's slightly different. This is a quarterly, meaning we're running it over the course of 3 months. And the game is called Stellar Conflict, which sounds a lot like Star Wars. Cleverly, this game's designed by Jared James. It is a reskin of a game called Dungeon World, which is one of the very first Powered by the Apocalypse games. The very first one being Apocalypse World, but soon after, it was part of that first generation of PBTA games. And Jared James, back in 2015, released on Google Plus. Pour one out for the best social media site I ever experienced. Um, but Jared James released this and was linked to some Google Drive files and the like. And Brian Lotz, when I said, "Hey, what is some cool Star Warsy games?" Brian Lotz had suggested to me this particular game. Went in, looked at it, really liked it. Love the playbooks, love a lot of the ideas, the reconfiguring of Dungeon World moves. But since 2015 to now, there have been some new developments in PBTA games, such as Jeremy Strandberg's Stonetop, which is as close to a Dungeon World second edition as we likely will get, Rich says, or posits as a theory. Not official, just unofficially. And I like a lot of the things in Stonetop. So I took those basic moves and reskinned most of the Stellar Conflict moves to that. And then since then, we've tweaked and remixed a few things, renamed some things to make them feel a little more Star Wars. That's all that system faffery that I give you. But we are telling an exciting adventure set after Return of the Jedi, before the wonderful Mandalorian or the Mando verse of things which happen, I believe, 5 years after Return. We're somewhere nestled in there, probably a year and a half, 2 years after the death of Palpatine, because he was in a Death Star that was exploded. Obviously, he'll never come back. And we're also dealing with a little bit of expanded universe, meaning this is Legends canon that I'm pulling in, but since Disney can do it, so can we. Using a thing called Warlord Zenj, a character who was eventually killed by Han Solo in the books, who was an Imperial remnant. He had a huge slice of the galaxy where he said, "Oh, Palpy's dead? That sucks. We're still Imperial here." However, our playgroup, the crew of the Duchess Gambit, are not Imperials, and they're dirty little rebels. They're not even officially representatives of the New Republic, which is running Coruscant, sort of right now. And the folks of the Duchess Gambit have ended up at a planet or planetary system known as ARX. ARX. ARX is a gas supergiant, and it is within the gas supergiant of ARX, huge planet. There are pockets of breathable air, and the main gas that comprises ARX is mineable. So think Bespin, think Cloud City, think Empire Strikes Back. Similar to that, our crew has defended Nephil Station, which is part of the League of Arcs, became heroes, recognized, invited to a dinner party hosted by one of the politicians. I wouldn't say rulers, right? But they kind of make the rules. And this politician, known as Mr. Sakamori, Natsuki Sakamori and his niece, the troublesome Rika Somyeon, both hosted the crew for a dinner party that went relatively well until it didn't. At the end of because I think most parties would end after revelation of, oh, by the way, Neville Station slavery's cool here, and this servant who's been serving you is not just Nabana the Twi'lek servant, but also Nabana, Mistress Sakamori's slave. However, per some conversation we had in game and wishes after and a little pre-game convo, we've determined that Mr. Sakamori received a gift from all of you of some brandy and your austere presence, and he is generously gifting you Nabana, who for some reason you guys didn't want her to like dance for you, which he thought was, a prelude to the gift. He did not realize that would be rude to you for whatever reason, even though he complimented Princess Tirlapath for her open-mindedness in having a slave eat at the table with all of you. So that was like kind of dropped like a bad potato in an asteroid field kind of thing. Also, we had near the end of our dinner party, after all of the heavy flirting that Rika Somyeon, ex of Sin, with not Sin but Kaz Kingrave, Cincinnati Soul Run decided to challenge Kaz Kingrave to a duel, and it was revealed by Princess Tirlapath that what would you use in a duel, but it had to be swords, because we know that Tirla's trained in swords, that she's received such. And of course, this hints to Riven, the planet Princess Path is from, that Cincinnati is also very trained in that culture for some reason that we know. In the backstory is that Cincinnati is actually from and possibly related to Tirlapath, the poor bastard son shtick that we love. Oh, I just saw Vibro Swords in the chat, and that is for sure. Boy, side tangent, all the Vibro knife shit that's happened in Mando, just every time I'm like, oh yeah, that is a vibrating sword. I don't even know how it works, but I love it. Love it. It's like that moment in Johnny Mnemonic when the dude pulled out the microfilament whip. I went, oh, I've actually seen a microfilament whip on film. This is the greatest moment in a otherwise so-so movie. Mando is not so-so. It's pretty great. So the very last moment of our last session was the revelation from the always helpful Secretary Sadie Isler, informing Kaz Kingrave after he was challenged to a duel that the Raptor has arrived at Nephil Station. The Raptor being the starship operated by the bounty hunter Vanagander, and Vanagander is force sensitive according to the guild notes. Who even knows what that means? I thought that was expanded canon or something from an RPG, but I've thrown it in there, and you have to deal with it, because if Dark Troopers can exist, so can force sensitivity. Damn it! I didn't say MCAT was high. What? Oh man, look at you! Read my mind. We're on the same. That's so good, so good. Sweet. So those are all the things that happened up to that moment. I am tempted to jump forward into a scene in motion rather than popping right back into the moment of the challenge and the duel. Option 1, we jump directly to the duel. Option 2, you guys are dealing with some other thing in motion, but the duel is a looming threat, like the sword of Damocles, one might say. I pause now in my monologuing to ask you guys, which of those are more interesting to you?
Can you go through the options again one more time?
Oh, it's just real quick. I thrown out, we jump straight to the duel and set up that scene, or vague reason that you are doing a walking, like a movement scene, kind of the walk and talk from, shoot, what was the, dang it, Rich's.
Reservoir Dogs.
No, but I love Reservoir Dogs more than this. Like the TV show that was set in the White House that
West
had,
Wing.
The West Wing.
yeah, the West Wing, where they did the walk and talks.
Yeah.
Like for,
The Sorkin
like,
walk and talk.
yeah, the Sorkin. That's a Sorkin. Thank you. A Sorkin walk and talk. Writing that down.
I say let's just get right to that duel, baby.
Agreed.
I think the duel's been challenged, and the societal expectations, like, all right, let's move this outside. Like, I feel like there hasn't even been a chance to talk it over because people are like, cool, this needs to happen. Let's get going. This is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You don't challenge people to duels without expecting it to happen.
Nice. Cool. So because we decided off screen that Nibbana would be presented to Princess Tearlapath, I think when we open the scene, Nibbana has a ceremonial collar around her neck and I think a chain to it. I'm totally biting off Return of the Jedi vibes there. Is Tyrla actually holding the other end of the chain? Or is Nibbana holding her own chain? And,
I mean, that chain is coming off as soon as
yeah, opening of the scene. We can.
Yeah.
I want that to happen on screen. Good. So yes, we see Tearlapath, who has been presented Nibbana, the Twi'lek slave, and Tassa Bray standing near the two of them. I'm imagining this duel has to be presentational. This is space opera. This is Star Wars. Are you guys up on some kind of like a balcony or something where people are coming to watch this duel? Or do you think that this is something where there are several like hovering camera bots and it's being broadcast on the walls behind and around you? Or does someone else have another really cool idea?
I think I think Second Worry, I think he guided us out to like a large balcony, like a large garden balcony that he has off of his domicile. So there's statuary, there's plants that we haven't seen anywhere else.
Oh, like a biodome kind of vibe.
Yeah. And it's higher up, right? So it's like people can see like, oh, something's going on up there. Maybe they catch the light reflecting off of a vibroblade, but it's kind of like a private, but I'm imagining it like any kind of duel set in like 1700 France. They go out to the garden and let the duel happen on the lawn.
Some people are just like trays, they have drinks, while they're watching the duel about to happen before y'all get skewered.
I think whenever we see a shot of these things and setting up, like, I think Sin is definitely like sweating more and more. Like the stakes really are just going up and up and up. He did not expect this.
Nice. What do we read on Cause's face? What's his emotional state?
Agitation. Cause is tired of this. Sin can't hold his liquor, and he's made an ass of himself again. And he's pretending to be Lando Calrissian of all people. So it's just more like, it's just this agitation, this, I have to get us out of this because he's in too deep. And maybe he needs to learn a lesson. So that's where Cause's face is.
I like it. Cool. So as we see the irritation from Cause, Rika Samian comes over and she does not look at you, Cincinnati, when she leans in to kiss Cause's cheek. Good luck. Teach him a lesson.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
Then we hear a little bit of John Williams style music starting to swell as, yeah, I think Mr. Sakamori will say, Princess Tearlapath, if my understanding is that your planet duels are ritualistic and ceremonial, could you perhaps help me? And duels are not something that happen on Neville Station. I want to make sure we observe the proper forms here.
I can, yes, of course.
Thank you.
And I think she starts like rattling off a bunch of things and saying, but of course we can't handle that here. We don't have the facilities, but this place should do. And she's like looking where the light is coming from and directing Cos and Sin where to stand and.
We see a few birds fly across the sky of the biodome. Yeah, I dig it. So
Yeah,
Princess,
and
yeah.
I think she'll say, well, I assume, actually, no. What she says is, since I would like to have a full crew after this, this duel will be to first blood and not to the death. So for you two, since and she's looking at Sin kind of quizzically and then turns mostly to Cos. Since you haven't dueled before, that means if you're injured, you lose. Okay?
Acknowledged.
Make it so.
And that means it's courteous to not try to kill the other person, just stab him in a leg or something.
Rika says, stab him in both legs. That way he won't have a limp. I'm thinking of you, Sin.
Wait, who said that?
Is it Rika? She said, stab him in both legs to Cause.
Oh. Yeah. And then she turns to me and says, okay, at least she's acknowledging my existence. Okay.
Yep, exactly. As she says to...
Right, Lando's existence.
Lando's existence, yes, of course.
Lando's existence, yeah. I'd like to trigger a move if possible.
Ooh, what move would you like to trigger?
Well, I'm very nervous and I've got a bad feeling about this. And since I'm a roguish type, I would win such instances by doing something crazy with the environment. Like I once cut off a rope and then a chandelier fell on a person and I disabled them that way, etc., etc. So I'd like to trigger. I've got a bad feeling about this. What can I see that no one else can? Specifically, I'm looking for something in the environment that might give me a head up.
Yeah.
And maybe we can wait until like later in the duel for you to throw out what that actual thing is, but
by the way, yes, she did say the name Sin. I think she knows Cincinnati, but no one seems to have reacted to it. Mr. Sakamori still thinks that it's Lando. So I like the idea that you see some aspect of the topiary that you can use to give yourself an advantage, and we can define that as we go. So you triggered that move. You now have that. You can use it to roll advantage with a future move if you incorporate it, if that's cool with you. Awesome. I think Mr. Sakamori, another like a protocol droid, comes up and hands him this little thing that he extends out, and it turns out that it's like, oh my god, I'm aging myself, but Steven's with me. Like a Bob Barker microphone. And I love that fucking microphone. It always cracked me up. It's like, that looks like the thing that we use to probe people, but Bob Barker would use it in The Price is Right. I'm done with that. I'm moving on. Not going to talk about that anymore. Thanks for indulging me.
Everyone from Neville Station, I have an announcement. The bounty hunter, Cos Kingrave, has been challenged to a duel by none other than Lando Calrissian. Therefore, if you will direct your attention to the station feed, we will be broadcasting this duel live for your viewing pleasure. Enjoy, people of Neffel Station.
And then we see a couple of little eye droid camera things come. They start rotating around the two of you. The music starts to swell. Toss a Bray, what have you been up to as all of this is happening?
I have a feeling that this is a distraction, that Sin and Cause have planned all of this without me knowing. So I'm like, okay, what did they set up the distraction for? And I think I'm going to go over to Nibbana. Nibbana is next to Tirla, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And Tirla, did you already take the collar off? Or is that still you did?
Cool.
Okay.
So as all this is going, you've gone over and taken the
Yeah,
collar
yeah.
off. Nibbana's just idly rubbing.
And I want to have a conversation with Tirla and Nibbana and basically say this must be what the distraction is for. This has just come up, right? And we know that something's going on here. So, thanks guys for, setting up the distraction while Tirla and I see what we can do about the problem that we have here on the station. So I lean over and I talk to Nibbana and say, "Hey, um, were are there very many slaves here? Do you have contact with the other slaves?"
There are. Yes. Yes, my whole family is here. All of my relatives. We were purchased. There are 53 of us on the station.
Um, how do they keep you from rebelling or escaping?
If anyone tries to escape, the other members of the family are punished.
Okay. And um, we want to free your people. And I look at Tirla like, are we on the same page? We want to free your people, and you know, will you help us? And I turn to Tirla and I'm like, you know, um, is this by force or is this by, you know, are we going to sneak them out or are we going to fight them free? What do you think?
But Rich, from what I understood, they were like they were practicing slavery because it was kind of an imperial thing, and they're kind of, but not really imperial. Was that right?
Yes, the people of Neffel Station, the League of Arcs, are independent. They do, like the Empire probably considers them part of the Empire, but they give them certain leeways.
Yeah.
So they practice the forms mostly so when Imperials come through, it doesn't cause a huge culture clash. But it does appear that they have a goodly number of Twi'leks on station.
But it's more like it's not like a widespread thing. It sounds like it's mostly some rich people have some slaves.
Yes, they're the majority, like middle class down. They don't have slaves. It is not ingrained in the culture. It's just that they're the politicians and the elite. Some of them just happen to have slaves. We're just trying to make sure that the Imperials aren't angry with us. You understand? We treat them well. It's technically just what's written into the contracts, according to them.
Yeah. So I think either like stirring up public outcry could be one way to do it. Because if they're politicians, they will be sensitive to that sort of thing. Like if
Mm-hmm.
the opinion turns against it, then they will say, "Oh no, we're not going to have slaves anymore." That sort of thing. It's either that or get them away from here. So I think the question is, does do they want to stay here or do they want to go somewhere else?
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, I like that. So, do we want to answer that question with a spout lore? Do we want to answer that question with Nibbana being the voice of her people in this moment?
I think her being the voice of her people, to me, that feels right.
Okay, cool. She's safe. Want to be free. We don't want to be part of the empire. If we leave here, everywhere else around us will just be recaptured. If the people of Neffel Station would stop, we could stay. But if we leave, we would have to flee all the way out of Zinj's domain.
Well, Lady Nibbana, you're much smarter than I am. I hadn't thought that through. That's a very good point. We do not want to place upon you and your family the burden of being pursued.
And sadly, our ship cannot carry that many people, or we could try to get you out of here, but we don't have the capacity to do that. Um, yeah,
I have
I'm
another
not
question.
sure. Yeah, sorry.
I have another question for you, Nibbana. How often are servants such as yourself given or traded or sold? Actually, maybe that's a spout lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Let's have you spout lore.
Yeah. That's with int. Is that right?
It is.
Okay. Oh, that's a 4. That's
Oh
not good.
my. Yeah. So I'll answer the question because we want to keep that conversation flowing. The answer is we are traded quite frequently. Some to have a particular match on color, others for breeding purposes. And she stops talking because it's obviously uncomfortable for her, Tassa. But you maybe don't hear the last bit of her trailing off because you feel a sudden rise of powerful anger, not emanating from Nibbana, but coming from someone who's arrived in this biodome.
I think my head whips around, like, looking for them. And I'm like, I turn to Tila and I'm like, we should probably step back, get out of sight. And I think I'm going to suggest we kind of go back to the corner or the shadows. I think, let's up this ante a little bit. I think we go and in the corner in the shadows, there's actually some like a bookie, right? Placing bets on the duel.
Oh
And we use
yeah,
that
totally.
as a cover. So I'll let the princess decide on who we bet on.
Since I've taken part in officiating the duel, I don't feel like it's appropriate
Oh,
for me to place bets. But I would put my money on Sin every day. Oh, sorry, Lando.
on Lando.
Oh my gosh. That hits me right in the meow meows.
And I think I know what it is. I think we hand the money over to Nibbana and have her place the bet.
And she holds the credits. Very well. And she'll head over to talk to the bookie.
Oh, we go
And
with her. We go with her as
okay.
friends, right? We're companions now. Not just abandoning her to the bookie, to the scum of the earth, right? We're gonna go with her, but let her kind of make the decision about, where this goes to give her that little taste of freedom and that little taste of decision.
Nice. She's super nervous. I think the fight has already started, or at least we see a little bit, and we can cut back to any conversation that Cause and Sin have.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. I have an idea. We've done this before, right? I already set that up, but we've run like a betting scheme where we set up a duel between Cos and I, and we got a poop ton of money by one of us throwing the fight.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not into that, and here's
Okay.
why. You mentioned that last week. It was like, oh, but maybe it's something we've done a lot. I like the idea, but you got into this because Sin got heated. Like this isn't Sin trying to get ahead of something. Sin kind of overstepped himself and is in trouble. So I think having it be this like, so even if that is a true thing that we've done, Cause am not like, he's not gonna throw the fight. I think he's coming for it.
And that's why I want to throw it out, because I think it builds up the tension that maybe my character thinks that
It's more lighthearted.
it's
Yeah.
more lighthearted than it is. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Maybe you have like a signal you usually do, like I'll do this, you do that, and Cos isn't responding.
Cos is
and
not
Sin
having
tries
it.
to
I like it.
Cool. Yeah, I love that moment of like, oh yeah, let's do it like the Coruscant maneuvering, but Cause is not having it. He is not into this. This is a full on for realsies.
Yeah. I want to introduce that. Like Sin is like Coruscant, and Cos is like, yeah, there's just anger.
And I think Nabata puts her buddy on Cause Kinggrave. Y'all's buddy on Cause.
Wise, very wise if you want to win.
Good. Tassa, when you looked around and guided people over, you saw he's a human. He has a very deep scar over his left eye. He is like a Van Dyke. And you see that he is attended by a Ratataki girl. She looks very young. And for all of his anger and dour appearance, she seems like she's almost giddy to be here. She has a little data pad. You can see that she's got like engineering gear on a belt. You don't see a blaster on her. And she's like tapping away and looking around. And she points out the cameras to her compatriot, the Venagander. And yeah, so you catch all that before you pull Princess Path away, as well as Nibbana to.
And I think I lean over and I let Princess Path know about that. So I'm like, there's someone dangerous here. Could be related to Virith. Doesn't feel quite right, but yeah.
So
I think she like she hears this and she interprets it as like, oh, it's a savage superstitious thing. It's like this isn't something real. It's just she saw a bird fly the wrong way, and that means something dangerous is about to happen.
let us discuss an option to resolve this duel. my one of the most interesting duel mechanics that I have seen is in this game, perhaps you've heard of, called Hearts of Wulin. It is a very meta type of move. I've modified it slightly to work within the mechanics that exist in Stellar Conflict versus what exists in Hearts of Wulin. I want to paste this into chat for us to look at. But I can also, if we're cool with it, I'll drop it in as a basic move. The way that PC versus PC duel would happen is when you challenge another PC, and Sin did so, make an offer of what you'll give them if they accept your victory. You may offer your unspent XP, which I think is bananas, character actions, promises. You could give them a bond or similar things that I ultimately have an approval on. But you guys know me, I'm pretty flexible. You put a single offer on the table. If the other player accepts, their character loses the duel, and that player will mark XP for their character. However, the person who made the offer has to follow through on the offer. If the other player, so if Cody rejects the offer, you both will have to mark a debility to one of your stats, and I will interrupt with a hard move. Like the duel will not be completed, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
So, what are your thoughts on this move? I'll ask the two people not engaged first for their thoughts. So, Undesh, what do you think about incorporating this highly unusual duel into this game?
I think it's great for this situation. If we want to do this, if we want to do it a meta way, then this is the perfect way to do it. I'm also fine with trying to find some other way with the existing mechanics, but I like this. I really like this move. So I'm not involved, so it's not really
exactly right. I just wanted your opinion as someone not involved. Steven, as someone also not involved, what are your thoughts on this from a mechanic standpoint?
I like this a great deal. The thing that I like most about it is the giving, and I would suggest taking away of a bond, because I think that's important in the relationship of the duel happening. I could see, I'm going to, the loser or the winner removes a bond and says, we're no longer as tight as we once were, and they lose that ability to gain the XP that way. I like that idea.
Okay, so I'll say changing a bond.
Yeah. Changing a bond is great.
Adding,
because it shows the development of the relationship caused by this duel. Yeah, I like that.
That's a good point. Okay, awesome. So now, Cody, Cisco, because I feel like you both may want to talk through it. Are you cool with this move? Interesting.
I've always wanted to play Hearts of Wulin, and I never gotten the chance. So yes, I will use this Hearts of Wulin move.
Nice. It's just as good. There's nothing else.
It's the same, honestly.
It's totally not as good.
I've played it
Hearts
now.
You certainly should have played Hearts of Cisco.
It's good. I like it. I want to up the stakes. So a debility would be a debility here. I think mechanically maybe we also lose HP, not because we hurt each other, but because we became tired, and that will mechanically.
Well, Rich did say he was going to take a hard move as well.
Oh, so, and a hard move as well.
I think a debility on each of us is lasting, and then a hard move is pretty. I mean, that's nasty, and I like it.
Okay, yeah. I like the stakes being high, as you guys know. You've watched me play.
I like it. You push me to be a harder GM, and I appreciate that.
Do we have I love it. First of all, do we have a chance for us to discuss what our characters might want?
Now you make an offer.
Okay, cool. You just make an offer.
There's a little bit of a gamble in here.
Yeah. I like that too. Okay.
You guys had 6 sessions. Come on. You know what Cincinnati's in.
And it's just to make sure I understand, since the challenge was from Cause would be the one making the offer?
No.
The reverse.
No, the challenge was from Sin.
Okay. The challenge was from Sin, so Sin would be making the offer. Got it.
So it says you put a single offer on the table, but it doesn't have to be just XP or just character actions, or it can be.
You can get as creative as you like. You can get wild. I've heard some very, very bizarre things offered.
Okay. A trip to Disneyland. Okay. I will most certainly put my 5 XP unspent that I have for you to have, as well as any XP that I earned this session on the table. I as
Rich, you just say
I'm
it
writing
fast
it
because Rich is
down.
gonna take this back. Rich is gonna take it back as soon as you start juicing me.
Also, I think that Cause wants to look like a badass in front of Rika, and maybe wants Sin to look like an a-hole. So I think maybe this is the moment where like I just let go of Rika, and if Cause wants to have an uncomplicated, you know, development of the Rika relationship, I think maybe this is the moment where he goes, this needs to stop. All the drama needs to stop. Although the drama makes it more fun, but I don't know. And yeah, that's it. That's my offer.
So we're clear. I'll restate it to make sure that it's written down. The 5 XP that Cincinnati currently has, and any XP earned this session, and that Cincinnati will win the duel, but let's go of any of his attraction to jealousy
Entanglements.
over Rika. This will be done. Like it's over in his head. Okay. That's quite an offer. Cause Kingrave. Cody, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I have to take it. This is so good. This is such a good thing. I mean, this is great. What a good use of this. Specifically, I just want to clarify. You said I look like a badass in the fight, and then there's this other stuff about maybe you could potentially look like a badass to Rika, whatever. Kaz is interested in looking like a badass. He's looking like he did it, looks like he did a reasonable job. But yeah, I'll take that deal. I'll take that challenge.
Okay. That is amazing. I adore this. So Cisco, Cincinnati wins the fight. What does that look like? You get to paint the scene here. You get to tell us how this goes, because I am really curious how you're gonna win a fight and also make Cos Kingrave look like a badass.
I put this on the table without really knowing the details. So can I pull the table for ideas?
Sure.
So what was it, who was it that would get to look like a badass?
I believe that the term was that Cause would look like a badass even though he lost the fight, right?
Cool.
Is that correct?
That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to misinterpret the offer. Because I thought it was a little bit more like less like look like a badass and more like, and the whole Rika thing. She's yours, man. I'm fine with.
I think it's a both and.
Oh,
I think
both.
it's a both.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I just misunderstood it. Well, I think my pitch would be that it's like Kos is clearly the better fighter. Like he's dominating the actual fighting. Sin is trying like some fancy maneuvers and that sort of thing, and Kos is but Kos is clearly winning. But then Sin does some like some clever, stupid maneuver thing that actually lets him get a hit in something that would be stupid to do in a real fight, because in a real fight, Kos would definitely win. But Sin kind of plays to the rules something and does something tricky.
I love that.
Technicality.
So I have in my mind's eye more picturesque kind of things like maybe the audience is threatened at some point by one of you, or you run into him and tackle him, and you both go over the edge and land on like on another platform, something like that.
Like Tekken. That sounds awesome.
Yes. And also, it's also like Star Wars, because Star Wars has like that kind of stuff for sure. Return of the
Definitely.
Jedi, or I'm sorry, prequels.
Definitely.
Okay.
I want to ask Cody, like, what is your demeanor like during this fight? Like, are you angry and like showing good technique, but also like very aggressive?
I think I think he's annoyed at the start, and so he's like, I'm just gonna make this, it's gonna happen. Cause is, he's focused, he's making the right moves. But as he's not winning, as at first hearing Sin mutter Coruscant, Cause gets a little bit angrier, just like, you can't just talk your way out of this. And then Sin starts getting the upper hand, and then Cause gets frustrated, and then he starts getting overcommitting. Then he starts making more mistakes, because not only was he supposed to be teaching a lesson, Sin was giving him the upper hand, and now he's taking it. I think the fight frustrates Cause.
Cool. I like it. I think the way that Sin looks like the a-hole here is that traditionally the fencing would be very much like on this plane right here. And instead, Sin is very much doing a lot of dancing, like we're in a garden and like grabbing plants to like, dodge and block and like jumping on stuff. And I love Steven's idea. So at one point, I'm like getting too close to the audience, which you're not supposed to do, right? Everyone's supposed to stay safe. And at some point, because I get too close to the audience like parts, and I fall over onto another platform. And that's when I can even see Cause like boom, like landing, and like it just being really, really menacing. Cody, I'll also
insert with this maneuver. Sorry, I just want to insert a question to Princess Tila Path. There's a moment when you see Cincinnati pull off a maneuver that you have been shown in your training. What is it? Is it a particular attack? Is it a pirouette? Is it a feint? What is it? It's wholly unique. Like, this is one of the particulars of that fighting style that is only taught to your family.
Yeah, I think it's like he whirls the cape and whips around and makes a stab, like it's like you make a feint with the cape, and then you turn around and it's a second feint, and then you stab them.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
We established that I was wearing tight clothing but no cape, so I think at one point I steal the cape from someone in the audience.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, that's perfect. Oh,
That's
wow.
so cool.
Which is such an a-hole thing to do. Like, I'm really looking like an a-hole here. Cody, I'll throw on the radar that immediately Sin is going to want to try to find a relational way for us to reconcile, and but not now. I think as you land on the platform, I think the fight ends with like you having me. You have me. I'm on the ground. You have me at sword point, and like maybe you're breathing heavy, and then I think Tirla comes and she's like, point, and like right there I'm like breathing heavy, but there's a tiny little cut on your leg that you didn't even feel.
Dirty bastard. I love it. Oh, that's so good. So good.
It's so good, but I feel horrible as a player. But it's good for the dramatics of the story. Love this move, by the way, Rich. So cool.
That is Lowell Francis's genius at work. I claim no ownership over this, just the intelligence of finding his work in Steve.
Lowell, when you watch this, and I know because you watch every single Gauntlet video out there ever, of course. When you watch this, Lowell,
video? No, it's an open hearth video. This one is. Mad props to Lowell.
Mad props to you, Lowell.
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah.
That
Kaz
is-
will just look down at the cut and be like, throw the blade on you. You win. Walk off.
The camera is definitely on Sin's face. He's like regretting. Oh, what does Rika do?
Yeah, I think Rika's torn, right? You toss the blade down, cause Rika's torn. There's a moment where, see, Cincinnati offered like it's no big deal, but you did just win the duel, and she's a little impressed by that, but torn here. So there's a moment where she's just looking at Cincinnati and then looking over at Cause, then looking at Cincinnati. What does Cincinnati do when you see, oh, maybe you've won something here? How do you react to that?
I think this is the moment as the music is swelling and the camera is panning on Sin's face. This is the moment when he realizes if Rika is impressed by him being such an a-hole, they are both in such a toxic place in their lives. They don't need to be with each other, and they need to be doing a lot of growing separately.
Nice. I like that a lot. That's pretty great. That actually shows a little growth for your character too. I love that. Nice work. Well, let's cut to Tierlapath and Tassabre. You just had this conversation with Nibbana. She bet on Cause. She lost all your money. She starts crying at this point. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't. I will make it better. I will fix it.
No. You have nothing to be sorry about. That was your money. It's you. You made your choice, and sometimes that happens. But and I think she pulls up like another a credit stick, like but this will be enough to get you someplace to live and food for a while until you can get a job somewhere. I don't know if I need to check off because I have this noble gear thing. Where I
Yeah,
can,
let's check off the use of Noble's gear. I like that. The idea of you're just checking off one of those, like, oh, yeah, it's fine. You're good. You and your family are set up. And she thank you, Princess Path. She looks to you, Tassa, and she signs like yeah, she signs am I free? What about the rest of my people?
And I sign back, you're free. Your decisions are your own. We ask that you help. We're asking a dangerous thing of you. We want to help the rest of your family as well. I say this is dangerous in sign, but then I step forward and I say, it's your decision. I say it out loud so that the princess can hear. It's your decision, whether or not you help us with the rest of your family that is here and the rest of the slaves that are here. And I say, I lean forward and I say, it's more dangerous than you may imagine because there are things here other than pirates and saboteurs that seem to have ill will, and it could be more dangerous than even we expect.
Thank you. I will go and tell my family and thank you. And she'll duck out, and as she leaves, and I imagine that like you guys have fallen down to a platform, so you're like lower on. We're about to take bio break, but I'm trying to set up a like break to commercial moment. So Tierla and Toss, you can see Cisco and Cause. The fight has ended. There's some applause. People are cheering. They're very excited. There's a moment between Cincinnati and Rika, and then Rika realizes she's getting the brush off, so she rushes after Kaz to congratulate him. And the Nibbana's leaving, and that's when you hear the slightly squeaky voice of, I think they're over here, Vandegar. And you Tassa, see him, this Vanagander. He arrives, and he looks first at Tirla, but then his eyes lock with you. Tilts his head, and he starts striding towards you, Tassa Bray.
Two things. One is I'd like to hand Nibbana like a communicator. So I marked off one of my, what's it called? Adventuring gear, right?
Okay, she's got it.
So,
no problem.
So we can get back in touch, and she can get in touch with us. And then number two, I want to analyze the situation to see what's going on, because I don't know who this is. So do you want to do that before we go to break, and think about it?
Let's have you
do that.
That's I like that. Let's have you analyze so you know what's up, and then
or you can think about it and then tell us what's up whenever I come back. Yeah.
Let's see how the roll goes. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's plus whiz. Okay.
Which, whenever I'm running Stone Top for my wife, I jokingly say roll plus whiz. She gets mad.
And that's a 10, so I need to give you 3 questions. Excellent. One question I think I can always ask. This is Discern Realities, yeah. What is making your character? What is making them feel? I'm sensing anger. What's them? Why are they angry towards us? And I think there's another one. What is about to happen? Yeah, what is about to happen? And what should I be on the lookout for? Yeah.
Awesome. That's amazing. I love those questions. Good. So we're going to take our mid-game bio break, although it's not exactly mid-game because I have to end early, but we'll take our bio break here. Okay, we're back. So I have 3 questions to answer. And the first one is the one I'll lead with. Tassa Bray, I think you reach out through your understanding of the Force to understand the question of why is Vanagander so angry? And you realize 2 things. He is not angry at you. He's angry about other things that are indirectly affecting him now. And secondarily, he is stoking his own anger because he draws upon it and that emotion to fuel his tie to the Force. What is about to happen? He is here to steal a path. To not kill her, but to capture her. And what should you look out for? He is powerful in the ways of the Force, in ways that you have skills and other ways. Is that fair? Does it seem like a fair set of questions? Okay.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yeah, so let's pick right up with that. Let's go with the hot hand here. Tassa, you get those bits of information as this angry man is striding towards you.
And I step forward and I say, we have no quarrel with you. Just leave on your own and there will be no difficulty.
Peace is a lie.
So just so you know, I have a move called Speak Softly. When you offer peace, but your enemy refuses, gain advantage on your next roll. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Nice.
refused. That is
Yeah.
awesome. I love that setup. Very
Yeah.
excellent move. Character and mechanically.
You walked right into his trap, Rich. You didn't even know,
Oh.
man. You're
Like-
busted, dude. You got busted.
Busted. Love it. Vanagander did not know. He says peace is a lie. There is only
You fell for the classic blunder.
Oh my god, Princess. We have now had that's great. I'm just so happy that we had a Princess Pride quote. I'm so excited. This is my kind of thing. Sweet. Yeah, so he has refused that. You now gain advantage, which might be helpful because yeah, he's reaching through the force. And Andesh, for Tirla Path, please tell me, what are you planning to do right now? You've seen this. This guy is marching towards Tassa Bray. It is obvious he is planning on fighting her. He is making no attempts to obfuscate his intent.
So I kind of got lost about where we were.
Oh, that's great. That's a good point. I'm imagining they were up on a balcony. You guys were on a mid-tier level because they fell below you onto another platform in this biodome area. You're off nestled. There are lots of trees around you. It's this kind of nature beauty area, but also shaped by, so it's like Disney nature, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
perfectly.
there's a crowd of people who are here watching and betting, but you're off a little bit to your side. And then coming up a set of stairs was this Vanagander and Lilu, the little Radataki, who pointed you out. But Vanagander, he took a look and then just starts walking towards Tassa Bray. I would say 50 feet between the groupings, but he is closing it quickly as Tassa takes a moment to see what's going on. So he, through the force, is asking, what do you intend to do? What are you planning to do right now?
I think Tirla, it doesn't quite cross her mind that he's really going to go through with violence in this location. It seems like that would be too reckless.
Sure.
So she is she's going to try to basically talk him out of that. I'm sure you're not about to attack an honored guest of Mr. Shakimura. Was that his name?
Sakamori.
Sakamori. So she's not intending violence. She's but she can see that he is, and she's going to try to deflect that.
I like that. I think you are. Oh, nice. Don't forget you're charming and open.
Yeah. But this is her because you wanted to know her intention.
Exactly. Good. So you haven't said that out loud. It's surely you're not going to fight. You're going to try to distract or deflect, to bring it from violence to another way to resolve things.
Yeah.
Good.
You're going to try to talk.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Good. So he arches a brow and looks at you for a moment, Tila, but then he's back on you, Tassa Bray, and he looks you over for a little bit, and then he approaches to where he's maybe 15 feet within talking distance. The Radataki girl, she stands like 5.5 feet tall. She's very skinny, You think her gear might weigh almost as much as she does. And she just hovers behind him, and he stops, and he says aloud, "I assume you are her protector."
I will prevent you from doing harm to her. Yes.
I do not intend to harm her. She is just a bounty.
She is not just a bounty.
To me, she is. Her father has paid an obscene number of credits to have her returned home safely. I will do so.
Interesting. And I'm going to go into a defensive pose, so that if he tries to take the princess against her will, then I can intercede.
Nice.
I think while all of this has been going on, Tila has been doing her whole spiel about surely you're not about to attack, blah blah blah. Nobody takes any notice about what she's saying.
Princess Path. If you choose to come with me, I will not kill your friend here. Her death will be on your hands.
If you kill my friend, I can assure you, you are not leaving this station alive.
Nice. Cause, this guy's here who matches the files that your secretary helpfully provided to you. Sadie gave you that little, little hollow there. He's in color now, not in the blue of the hollow. And I think Cincinnati, you received the accolades. It's bittersweet. You had your like me and Rika that's totally not going to work out. But you look from the platform where you are, people, the cameras are still going around you, getting some really good shots of you. But you see that there's some kind of thing where a guy's facing off with Tasa Bray. I want to ask you a question, Cincinnati. The Radataki, Lilu Lergy, she is a very talented slicer and slicer hacker. A great tech, like just secondhand to her the way she can manipulate technology. The two of you did a job together. Who burned who?
I think she burned me.
Was it because you guys were overextended, or did she get a higher bidder? Why did she burn you? Or why do you think she burned you?
Yeah. I think she sold out the whole group. I think
Shit.
someone else paid her more money. Yeah. And she sold us all out. And she left us in a go ahead.
Who did you lose?
Oh,
Was it an ally, a friend,
that's a good
someone
question.
important to you as a result of her selling you out?
I think we lost the group. Lilu was the heart of the team and the last one that we thought that would betray anybody. And once she turned, none of us were the same again.
Oh, and one of them is in an imperial prison.
Oh no!
In the ISO cubes.
Oh no!
Sweet. Awesome. Someone you haven't seen in period of ellipses. Okay. Sweet. I love it. Good. I want to circle back to Cause. You know who Vanagonder is. You've heard his rumors. You've read the file the Sadie helpfully provided to you.
Mhm.
He's after a bounty you did not claim. I don't think you've even told Princess Path about it
Nope.
because stuff was happening.
Yep, stuff's came up. Has he clocked me? Has he seen me?
He
Cool.
does not appear to have clocked you. He is very mono-focused on Tassa Bray and now
Then
Princess
what
Path.
I would like to do is I would like to pull out a weapon. It's gonna be stun tagged, and I'm gonna approach him from behind and blast him.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I love this. I would like to see you. There is no like sneak up, so I think you're defying danger to sneak up on him.
Yeah.
Employing speed, agility, or finesse feels like what you're doing. Does that feel right?
Yep.
to
Yeah,
you?
because he's just trying to get it done fast. He's trying to walk up and make it clean.
Roll plus dex.
Okay. Wouldn't you know it? I got a 6.
Awesome.
Someone please aid him. Please aid him. Please aid him.
Can we aid after the fact?
Yeah, we've played
Okay.
it that way.
Okay. And in that case, I'm going to try to aid, and it's simply I'm distracting Van while Cause steps up. See
I
how
think
that
that
looks.
feels legit.
Yeah.
Let's see how the dice agree. Now, you have advantage on your next roll. So, right from the
I have an advantage on my next roll against them.
okay.
So should I do that now?
I'll leave it up to you. Because this
Yeah, I
is
think
a kind of a edge case thing, so I'll just let you make the
When in doubt, let's do it. Yeah. So, that is a 7-8.
Oh wow, that gives a so just double check. I think that gives advantage, but now you're mixed up in the trouble. That's great. That's perfect. Expose yourself to danger, retribution, or cost.
Yeah.
And oh, that's right, because I stole from Dungeon World. It's a +1 or -2. Oh, that's cool. All right, we'll just do that. But I may go back and clean up the language later. I don't like changing move after you've rolled it. Gets a +1, which pushes you to a 7 cause. Defy danger on a 7 to 9. You can do it, but the GM will present a lesser success, a cost, a consequence, or maybe a choice between them. A chance to back down. I think you can get the drop on him. I'll give you a choice. You either.
Mm-hmm.
No. Here's the cost. You realize that there are still cameras filming all of this.
Mm-hmm.
You are about to. You realize you will be caught on cam attacking another member of the guild when they are rightfully pursuing a bounty.
Mm-hmm.
The repercussions for this will be large for you.
And he's interfering with my job, and it's a stun blast. He'll get over it.
Okay, business bounty hunter. I love it. Yep, that's the cost. You get filmed and someone will not be happy with that.
All right. So I was able to get up behind him. I used my pull out a weapon move to draw a gun with stun damage. Oh, actually, I need to roll for it. I have to roll plus stock to see if I can choose the thing. So I didn't realize that. So I guess let me go ahead and roll. And I think my stock is down because it starts with stock +2. Yeah, I've used it once before and I haven't had the chance to re-up it. So I get a 9.
Okay.
On my pull out a weapon roll, which gives me on a 7-9. I can still choose one option, but you can't choose that option again until you restock your arsenal. Great news, because I definitely need to do that. Yeah, so I successfully pull out a blaster that's set to stun, maybe cranked up real high. It's a hell of a stun. And
nice.
What's the move here? Did I just squeeze off the shot? Do I have to roll?
you successfully, your intent was to sneak up so he doesn't see you.
Mhm.
Therefore, I think you just do the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kaz just walks up, puts it to the back, pulls the trigger. You know, you because it's so close, you only see a little bit of the blue circle. Just punch him right in the back, and then Kaz looks right to Tossa and Tyrell and says, "We need to go now."
Hold on. Come on, sound effects. I hardly ever get to use my stun blast, so
Yeah.
there we go.
I think I'm going to immediately turn towards the Ratataki, his assistant, and like step forward.
Poodoo!
I'm going to step forward and grab her by the arm, right, to prevent her from running off.
Mhm.
And I think I'm like, we need to leave, but there's things going on here. Let's go someplace a little bit more private, Cause.
Yeah, like the ship we're going to use to get out of here.
Has our ship been repaired? I mean, we barely landed.
I love it. We're making fun of Star Wars time dilation. This is awesome. Here's what we'll do. We will let's do the what's it called in Undish will know. You roll a single D6 kind of deal. The die of
Fortune roll?
fate.
Die
Fortune
of
roll.
fate.
Fortune roll. Yeah, die of fate, fortune roll. Yeah. Let's see. It's Tassa who brought it up. Rolls a D6. 1, 2, 3. The ship is not fixed. 4, 5, 6. She's ready to go.
Okay.
Could.
I got a 2.
The ship is not yet fixed. Yep.
So I don't think there's been enough time, Cause. Are you suggesting we steal a different ship? We could take his ship.
No, we don't need to add actual crimes to our list. Unless somebody has another idea, I think Kaz is gonna stun his assistant too. I know Toss is like holding on to her. I think he's just gonna stun her and then like let her
Wait,
drop.
no. It's awesome. She's like, wait, I can help.
Well,
Perfect.
now we don't have them listening to what we're gonna do. Let's mosey.
We could put
We're
the two of
not
them in the
leaving
brig.
here before we fulfill my promise to free the slaves.
That's great, Tirla. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for that. If he catches you, you're not gonna be able to free anything, let alone yourself. So let's go and get out of here. Somebody
What?
get Sin.
He found us here. You don't think he'll find us what other place we go to?
I know exactly how this works, Tirla, unless you've forgotten, this is my job. He does what I do. And I didn't do my job well enough because I didn't get you to where you need to go. We stopped over here. So now I'm doing my job, getting you out of here. Where is Sin?
So I think Toss is in the process of dragging Van, and I think the assistant just kind of collapsed there. But Sin, but Van, I'm like pulling, and I think I'm gonna see if we can't get the station guards to put them in the clink.
Yeah, I do think a patrolman is here. We'll use patrolman Trado there. He comes over and says, "What's happened here? You guys are heroes." So like he's not immediately assumed you've done anything wrong. So, were these more of the pirates?
They attacked us with the intent to take us against our will. So can you I don't know if it's related to the earlier saboteur, Verith, but let's put them in the brink, but make sure that they're not in the same area where they can collaborate against us.
All right.
Yeah.
Because
And I
that's a
think
lot
once
of
that's
enemies.
done, I'm gonna find Sin. Oh, it's not our enemies, it's the enemies of Arcs, right? I mean,
Yes.
the pirates are coming after here. We just
He'll
showed
buy
up to
that.
help you guys.
He buys that. He's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, sure.
And I think I lean over and Sin, are you still on the lower level?
No, I think I've entered the scene. There's one dude that's knocked out. His assistant is knocked out.
And you recognize the little Ratataki.
I recognize Lilu, and I'm like, I immediately draw my blaster, even though she's like stunned, and go to shoot her. Like, you guys probably have to stop me and be like, no, no, oh my gosh, no. Yeah.
I think I step forward. I'm like not in front of the guard, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I look at the guard in that Star Wars moment, and I put my gun away.
Yeah, he had a like. Am I gonna have to? Oh, this looks bad. Oh, okay. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. And then he calls on his little comm thing, and a few people will come to haul away the bounty hunter who was here on a legitimate mission that was shot in the back. This is so good. I'm very excited about the repercussions of this action.
I also have enough dirt on Lilu that I can probably throw her under the bus with the authorities, but I'm gonna want to deal with her first for her betrayal.
So I think as we go to leave, I think I'm going to follow Kaz's path, right? Follow where he wants to take us. But I'm going to want to have a conversation between Kaz and Tirla, like, if the bounty is high enough, is it enough to make the changes that you want to here on Ark's princess?
If my father has promised that kind of money, then it doesn't matter where we go in this sector. Someone will come after us. It seems they've figured out, or at least this one has figured out, we're here. I think this just means we need to do what we can here quickly and then go somewhere else. Because despite everything, he knows his job, and I think he's right, but I think he underestimates the willingness of people here and elsewhere to do something, to not play by the rules in this case. And we're not going to be more safe in any other specific place, but we'll probably have to keep moving for a while.
And I think this is the point, Cincinnati, where you are approached by another, like, obviously well-to-do person who has a couple of Twi'leks, a male Twi'lek and female Twi'lek that just happen to have the same skin color, like they're a matched pair or something. It comes up and says,
Awful.
Cincinnati, you're oh, sorry, Lando Calrissian, you are such a revelation. Who knew that the leader of Bespin is also an incredible duelist? I've heard that you're very good at sabacc as well.
Please, I don't have time.
Oh, but please make time. If you could do me the honor, and this person, he has like obscenely weird ham hocks that are like his statement is like, this is how I look cool. It's got big fuzzy ham hocks going on.
Like
He's
Martin Van
balding.
Buren?
Yeah, like
Oh,
Van Buren
okay.
style. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And he's just like, he's walked up in the middle of you guys doing a whole lot of stuff to just focus in on you because all these other things are trivial to him. He says, please, you must, if you could, carve some time out of your busy schedule. I will make it worth your while. If you could, perhaps, see, I'm so nowhere near as successful as you, Lando. But if you could perhaps work with me and some of the trading that I do here, we can make some beautiful music together, Mr. Calrissian.
I think this is the first time in Sin's life that he has turn down the possibility of money and turn down the possibility of riches. He's just looking at Tirla, and he realizes enough of the BS, enough hiding. He needs to have a conversation. And I think he goes, please, now it's not a good time. And I think for the first time in his life, he's just going to shove him and make a beeline for Tirla.
So I'll help with
Nice.
that. I'll try and pull the noble off, and I'm like, Mr. Calrissian is very uncomfortable with the slavery that's here. The Cloud, as you know, Cloud City did away with this a long time ago, and it's very tacky. So I let the two of you go off to do your own thing while I distract the noble that way, and plant the seeds.
I'm gonna just play right off of Tassa and just look at the two Twi'lek slaves, and I will say in my non-Lando voice, you let those slaves free and we'll talk. And then I'll just walk away.
That's good. That's good. Sweet. Does anyone have any heartburn if the guy who I've just described might be known as Theodore Bombardier and might be related to a character that shows up in Mandalorian? Are we okay with that? Good.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Cool. I feel like we jumped to a new scene at this point. Where do we want to set that on Neffel Station? Are you guys trying to get back to the ship to help out with repairs?
It seems like things are a little rushed when we do have some downtime. I want to have a scene with Tirla, if that's okay, Tish.
I was kind of making space for that to happen. I just want to know where it is.
Yeah, I think Kaz leads everybody back to the ship, and he gets Tirla on board, and then he's out like getting these repairs faster. You know, more just kind of like, hey, this needs to happen. You know, the administrator offered us a job to hunt pirates. To do that, we need your work, and we need it fast. He's making sure that everything's kosher outside, keeping an eye out, scanning
Hey, let's
their horizon.
let's give a if you're okay, let's give a little negotiate. You're trying to press and entice these characters to do what you want. Let's see if you've
Definitely.
got sway.
Cool. Rolling plus cha, as you like to say. My
I
cha is
do.
0.
That doesn't seem appropriate. Kaz seems like a charismatic guy.
Well, you know. 10. He's pretty charismatic.
You know what?
I
Old,
don't need no benefits.
you don't need no pluses. Roz backs you up and complains about certain aspects of the repairs, and they double the engineering team helping out, try to expedite this.
I would expect nothing less. Thank you. What wonderful work. What wonderful work. All right, chop, 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 chop.
Nice. You got the thing. Where is it, Princess Path, that you are when Cincinnati comes to talk to you alone?
Actually,
Oh,
I wanted to
sorry.
I wanted to set something up and then
okay.
have
Yeah.
Tirla come in. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that Cause is busy with the repairs, and I think the city or the planet of Arx is erecting a statue to Patrolman Carmen,
Oh, that's cool. Nice callback.
who bravely gave his life in the siege against Arx. And I'm gonna lean into it, and I think Patrolman Carmen, it was also from Riven.
Ooh.
And Patrolman Carmen in this statue that they're erecting for him is flying a Rupin with a famous Riven line underneath it: "Fly higher, fly free." and there's this juxtaposition whereby they are erecting this statue to him, but he is completely unsung. It's just him and his family and his wife and his 4 kids are just there.
Dang.
And I'm close by. And maybe Tirla comes in here. And I'm gonna add a bunch of fiction, so you guys put the brakes on if I put in too much.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah. So yeah, I think Tirla comes up like from behind to stand beside you. And she doesn't want to intrude on the family, that sort of thing. So she's just staying beside you. Yeah, true hero, a hero of 2 worlds.
I don't know if I should go talk to them.
Well, I don't think that's your place, is it? If anyone should talk to them, it should be me.
Maybe. I have so much that I haven't said to those who love me. I'm just wondering how many more chances I have.
Ooh, I need to look at my mood here. Yeah, I'm going to use my charming and open because I
Nice.
think we are speaking frankly with each other right now. Yeah, but sometimes it's better to speak truthfully and openly, but sometimes it can also it can hurt. But you have to decide: is the pain right now worth the honesty in the long run, or is it needless pain?
I think Sin is gonna smile because that's something his mother used to say all the time. She used to say, right thing, right way, right motive, right time. And I think he'll smile, and then I think we'll walk together. And I think he'll say, my mother was a duchess, you know?
Oh, really? And I'm not sure how much Tierla has put together at this point. I don't think she has figured it out. She's been too busy with herself.
Well, then we're gonna get a whole lot of revelation then. Yeah, because Sin is not gonna hold back. He's gonna say, my mother was a duchess, and she's the most selfless person I know. She went off to marry some bureaucrat king for the sake of her planet.
So
And
had
she
we
didn't even know
decided
him.
that we were like half siblings, right?
Yeah, and so out of character, I wanted to throw out this idea. I think, like, since you're being hunted by a bounty hunter, I think our father is a douche of the highest caliber, and our mother is like super sweet. If you're down to set that up, okay.
So did we have the same mother or the same father?
So I think we have the same mother, and then I'm a bastard child because our douche of a father went off and had an affair, and our mother raised me as her own.
Sorry, now I'm confused.
So we share the same father biologically,
yeah.
but our mother raised me as her own, but it's not really my biological mother.
Oh, okay.
Sorry if that was confusing. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. No. Yeah. I get it. So, and you were older than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you had basically left. So I just remember that I had an older brother, but he wasn't around. Like he was only around when I was very young.
You feel like you've always known.
I was
Yeah.
gonna bring in that line if you weren't.
Hee.
You strange. That's so similar to my family.
I think that's when we walk by the ship and it says the Duchess Gambit, and there's the picture, the stylized woman with her cape flowing with the two guns.
Yeah.
And I think maybe her face looks just like a younger version of our mom.
Ooh. Think no, she's still not getting. I don't think so. She's
That's awesome.
it's just they stop. They're looking at the shape at the image there, and you know, I always thought I always thought she looked a lot like my mother.
What's her mother's name?
Oh, let me get a name generator because my brain does not work. Her name is Mirin.
Oh, that's a good name. Marin. I like that.
How would you spell that?
I put it in the chat.
Oh,
And what's her mother's maiden name?
I'll take one of the others. Astrod.
Oh, that's a good name too. And then that's what I will say. Do you mean Marin of House Astrud? And what planet is she from?
She is from the
you did kind of warn us.
Meal, because that's the one I spotted here right now, and now you have to say it. So, yeah. How did you know? I didn't think you kept up with the nobles on Ribbon.
Marin Astrud of Briarmill. I think Cincinnati will just hug you at this point.
Sorry, what? I missed that.
And like, if you allow it, I think Sin will just hug you and hold you.
Yeah, and very surprised, but I think now she gets it. So what did you call it? What was your name before you left?
My name was Secundo Path. Because if you have a name like Secundo, you have to go by something else.
Yeah. And I think she always called you Kundo because she couldn't say the whole thing. She was just a little kid.
That is so cute. Oh
That's
my god,
great.
I'm dying.
That's
and I
perfect.
think she just whispers like very like Kundo.
Nice.
I think all the Ognods working on the ship like take off their mask and they're all like, Kundo? Your name.
That's good.
And
There's
what
a
it
part
what
of me
it
that I
go
feel
ahead.
like this should probably be our like last scene. So how do you guys want to bring the scene to a close?
I want to bring it to a close by calling Tirla the name that Secunda called her when she was a little kid.
Oh,
What was your childhood name?
he called her Lala because that's what that's what their mother would call
Nice. That's great.
I think it ends with us whispering our childhood names.
her. Yeah, tightening
Awesome.
the heart.
That is good. That is really good. Okay. Then let's, sorry for time. I got to expedite a little bit here. We'll do our end of session stuff here. First of all, each of you get to point out how you demonstrated or struggled with your drive and if you took a risk to help someone in a way that reflects your bond with them. So let's go from right-hand side towards left. Cincinnati, what about your drive? Did you demonstrate your defiance?
Yeah, I broke a law, still pretending to be Lando.
It's true. What about bonds? Any
Cody,
bonds?
take a point.
Oh, that's
Oh.
right.
And also take 5 more because I had 5 banked.
Yeah, I saw the note that you broke the XP thing. It can't hold that much XP.
I deleted, I think, the formula that added it up when I tried to type in. It's fine. Everything's fine here. How are you?
She can't hold it anymore, Captain.
What about the bond? Were there any
okay.
bonds that you used to help somebody out?
No, I don't think. Oh, well, we resolved Tirla Path doesn't know my history. Best if I keep it
For
that
sure.
way.
You definitely did. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll need to come up with a new bond there. That's awesome.
Tirla Path is my sister. I must protect her at all costs.
So
Whatever.
so let's go to Undesh. What about your drive?
Cody, take a point for that bond. Don't forget.
Oh yeah. That's another one.
Yeah, definitely the drive, subvert or defy the system with this working on getting rid of slavery. Not sure if I took a risk that reflects the bond.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe with no, not really taking a risk. No.
Okay. Tassa Bray, what about your revealing truth?
I think we revealed the truth that there's a big bounty on Tirla and we need to keep moving. Yeah.
I also like it's just 1 XP, but I also think you helped to reveal the truth about all the Twi'leks and slaves and the way that their society is handling that. What about bonds?
I think that Tirla is woefully misinformed about the world, and I will teach them all that I can. I think the protection that I did and the risks that I took with the bounty hunter, I think fulfill that. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. What about Cause Kingrave? Did you gain profit from a hunt?
I did not. I wasn't on the hunt this time. And in fact, I was trying
Did you
to
struggle with it though?
I maybe at the end I'm trying to protect my profit. I still haven't gotten paid for rescuing Tirla. So, maybe
Okay, I think
all right. Well, maybe.
then you struggled with it. Go ahead and mark an XP for that. Your own XP, not knowing
All
you're
right.
taking from Cincinnati. What about bonds?
As for bonds, Tirla Path owes me a lot. I think I'm just more. I think I'm doubling down on that, right? Like,
Yeah, I want to see that come to a head. That's a wish. Yeah, but yes, definitely mark XP.
okay.
That sounds great. Now we do our group XP stuff. Which jumps to the other thing. All right. For each yes, everyone gets to mark XP, although Cody gets to mark 2. Did you have a thrilling adventure?
I feel like we
All
didn't
right.
go on an adventure, but it was thrilling. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Lots of swashbuckling. Yeah.
There was a duel. That was adventurous.
Yeah.
Did you discover something about the galaxy or its history?
I would suggest that the relationship between Tirla and Cincinnati is a
Tail
big one.
end for sure. Yeah. Did you defeat a threat to the region or the people?
No.
I don't know. You,
The
I
region,
think
no. The
Kaz did.
people, Tirla, I guess. I mean, to a single person, but that's kind of our person. Does that make sense? I
That's
feel
true.
like
Yeah, no, I get you. All right, so a no on that one. Did you recover or redeem someone or something once thought lost?
Nibbana.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. Did you restore hope?
I think we're at least working towards it with the abolishing slavery thing.
Yeah.
I think we've like lit the spark or whatever.
Yeah, I'm into it. I think so. I'm gonna say that's a yes.
I will
Cool.
also posit that by Tirla sort of accepting Sen, like there is hope that he can maybe be a better person.
There's hope. Cool. Yeah, we got enough time to do wishes, so we're gonna do wishes and stars. We start with wishes so we can end with stars. Who'd like to lead off with wishes?
I will. Sorry, I'm clearing these manually through all the 6 feet. I gotta level up again. My wish is, I think, to get into some action, get into some combat. Yeah, that's my big thing.
Okay, for sure. Other wishes.
Yeah, seconding that, I want to fight some Imperials.
Sounds good. I like that. Like
Yeah,
it has to
piggybacking-
shoot. Sounds good. Sorry, Cisco.
Piggybacking on that, I love our ship, and whenever we go to this planet, that there be a part of it that is pew pew on the ship, but something dungeony as well would be cool. Like actually having to infiltrate a base would be neat.
Okay.
I'll also add while I'm here, I'd like to posit that we add a bond that we don't trade a bond with Cause, because I'm still a useful accomplice. And I think one person can have multiple bonds, so that's my wish. And I think we should bring in Cause's assistant in person. Let's find a way to get her here. I love that dynamic between Cause and her. I want to see her more.
Okay. Those are cool wishes. Steven, wishes?
No, I can't think of any. The only thing I can think of, as I heard all the other wishes coming out, my brain started to work on how do we connect all of these. So I guess that's my wish, is that we can connect the stuff that we're working on now with the freedom and the bounty hunter and the Sith coming back and all of that, tie them into the wishes that we have today, Imperials and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. How do we make this soup all taste good? I agree. Excellent. Steven, you went last. Steven, you went last with wishes. You get to go first with stars. What stars do you have?
So stars to Anders and Cisco for the scene at the end with the family relationship and that reveal. That was just amazing. Stars to Cody for the Indiana Jones. I'm just gonna shoot him, right? I'm just gonna walk up and shoot him. I'm like, that's amazing. And stars to you, Rich. This was an awesome game, and I'm really enjoying this series so far and looking forward to where it goes.
Thanks, Steven. I also am having a great time. Cisco, did you have any stars to go with all your wishes?
Yeah, Stephen, way to spin that Theodore situation back to the freeing the slaves things. Love that. Cody, start for that duel, man, and just being game with this move. It's so cool. And Dash, that scene at the end, chef's kiss, probably in my top 3 emotional scenes that I've had as a player. And
Awesome.
Rich, what can I say? Amazing game. Like everything, the setting, the NPCs, the hard moves. I can't give you enough stars.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Cisco. Adesh, what about you? Any stars left out there?
I I just had a lot of fun. I thought the duel was very cool. It was getting to do a little bit of kibitzing on that was great. But I think it turned out fantastic.
Cool. And last but not least, Cody, what about you? Any
I mean, yeah, seconding just about everything that has been said. The start of the bringing that dual move in, having a dual move ready from another game. Rich, just big star to you. You constantly are hacking, still finding things to make like the next thing work. And it's always just a real cool delight to be like, what's this next thing? To the point where when you brought it up and it's like, here's your option. Here's the duel. Then you say yes, or you say no, and just like, you get a mark. And I was like, there's no way I can say no. Like I can never refuse this because I have to see how this works. So, it's always so fun to play games when you're constantly monkeying around with the stuff. So yeah, big star to you, bud.
Thanks. As I said in the break in between, this is just a snapping great game. I'm really enjoying playing it with y'all. Big star to all four of you. I love your interpretations of your characters, the way that we mix in the mechanics to surprise and delight. It's awesome. It's a great game. But with that, I will bring things to a close. Thank you all so much for playing, and I'll see you next week.